Hey, this is John Ridley, and we are outside the beautiful Peck Pavilion downtown here in Milwaukee. It's Dance Fest. So happy to have everyone here with us, and hello to everybody who is live streaming at home. This afternoon, we are going to present to you a lovely and we hope very informative and interesting conversation. That conversation is going to be led by our very good friend, Danny G., who is the director of programming at the Joyce Theater in New York. Let me just say, I cannot say enough about, go ahead, those who are present, please. I cannot say enough about Danny as a person, and she has invested her time and her talent into our Dance Fest for 2 years now, and has been gracious every step of the way, and we could not have done it without her. But we also could not have done it without the support of the Joyce Theater in New York. And for those of you who love dance, love performance, and just love being around wonderful, wonderful people, the Joyce Theater is the place to do it. I'm going to hold up a program here, and if you guys can just zoom in for a second and maybe get a little close. There's a QR code here, and for everybody who's present, there's a QR code on the back of your program, and that QR code will take you to the Joyce Theater. And please, please, please consider donating and supporting the Joyce and what they do and how they support dance almost every single week of the year. So please, I know times are tough, every dollar counts, but it also counts for them. And every dollar that you give means that they can do what they do almost 365 days out of the year. So please, please help. Danny is going to be conducting an interview with the principals of Ailey II who are here. There's so many more people involved in Ailey II. But talk about dance, talk about the legacy and what they represent. And if you have never seen Ailey or Ailey II perform, you are in for a treat. It's like going to church in the middle of the week. And I think we all know going to church in the middle of the week is probably not a bad thing. So I'm going to just quickly introduce you to the creatives here, and let's hope that I've got this. Kosa, Carly, Shay, they are going to have a conversation with Danny G., again, the programming director of the Joyce Theater in New York. I'm going to turn it over to them. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here, and thanks to everyone who's watching our live stream. Please take it away, Danny.
Year. It's a heavy lift, and we are one of the only theaters, I think, on the globe that only does dance. It was built by dancers for dancers, and I am very proud and honored to be the director of programming there and bringing companies like Ailey II and others into the fold. So we have a little bit of time to talk with these amazing people. And so Shay Bland, to my left, to your right, is the rehearsal director for Ailey II. First off, I want to ask where you're from and what your relation to Ailey has been even before you became rehearsal director.
Absolutely. So my name is Shay Bland. I'm from Englewood, New Jersey. And before I was rehearsal director for Ailey II, I was a dancer with Ailey II. But even further back than that, I went to a program called PPAS, Professional Performance Arts High School, which is in conjunction with the Ailey School for high school, as well as junior division with the Ailey School, so it was double Ailey during high school. And then I went to college. I went to Rutgers University, and then I returned to Ailey as a scholarship student. And then I became an apprentice a year later, and then joined Ailey II in 2013. So I'm really happy to be coming back home to the Ailey II. I was a teacher at the Ailey School for many, many years. I taught professional division and junior division, and choreographed a lot of pieces for the school. So Ailey is definitely home.
So you have a long history with the company. And what year did you become a rehearsal director?
So this is my second year. I became rehearsal director last year. Yeah.
And so who do you have with you here? We have Carly and Kosa. Tell us about yourselves.
Hi, my name is Carly. I'm from Chicago, and I guess I started dancing actually pretty late. I would say I was around like 10 or 11, and I actually grew up doing gymnastics. And my grandma, Mildred Cruzat, she's like a Chicago dance legend. She's kind of what got me into dance. So I went to the Ailey School. I went to Ailey Fordham, just graduated last year. Yay. And then I joined Ailey II last year. So I was a senior for my first year, and this is my second year. And yeah, I love it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Kosa.
Yes, hi. My name is Costa Scott, and my family is from North Carolina. I started dancing in the 4th grade, so I guess a bit later as well. And I danced all the way up until high school. I actually went to PPAS as well for a year. But I stepped away from dance and went to college at the University of Virginia and didn't think I would go back to dance, but it found me, I found it, and I found my way to Ailey Summer Intensive, and from there into the Ailey School, and from there into Ailey II. So this is my 2nd year with the company.
That's amazing, and I'm so glad to hear about the higher education, because in my day, it was really hard without computers. Yes, that's how old I am, to dance and have your studies at the same time. And the late Denise Jefferson was instrumental in starting the Fordham program, Fordham University program with Alvin Ailey. She couldn't be here with us today, not Miss Jefferson has passed on, but her daughter, Francesca Harper, is the artistic director of Ailey II. So the legacy is deep in the Ailey company. And so the Ailey II company is celebrating its 51st season. It was started in 1974 by Mr. Ailey as a way to, bring young dancers forward, to bring choreographers forward, also to workshop his new works. It was back in the day called the Repertory Ensemble. So 51 years going strong. And can you just talk about what it means to you to take that legacy forward?
I mean, the legacy means so much. It's so ingrained into the dancer that I am, so much so that Francesca Harper also had a company, and I was a part of her company while I was in the Ailey School.
Okay.
And Miss Denise Jefferson is the main reason why I got into the Ailey School. I loved Miss Jefferson. She could not whisper. And I remember auditioning for the school, and I remember being stand right in front of this table where they have the audition table, and I heard her say, "That Shea Bland's very good." And mind you, I'm in a grand plie, 5th position. I'm like, I'm going to fall over. But it means the world just because of what Ailey represents, both for dancers, but for the world at large. Just the cultural ambassador, just the legacy that it brings forth and reminds people of where we come from and where we're headed. So it's a really beautiful kind of monument to dance and just something that we can always refer to and the strength of it and the resilience of it.
Absolutely. So I toured with the company, Ailey One Company, from 91 to 97, and I can so appreciate you saying that, because wherever we went in the world, we felt like ambassadors. We're representing not only the U.S., but African Americans on the highest possible level. And so for you, Carly and Kosa, can you speak to how that feels for you being in Ailey II as well?
For sure. I think, one, it can feel almost like a lot of energy surrounding it, but I think it can be a good kind of energy, especially just graduating college. It can feel like you're representing a whole company, but on top of that, it really gets you ready and prepared for the rest of the world. You kind of shape who you want to be when you show up places, just because you know that you have that chip on your back. But it also has gotten me into so many rooms, and yeah, just kind of like, I guess, understanding who you want to be as a person, but with that also kind of that level of Ailey on your back. Yeah, I've just been trying to find that. So, yeah.
It's that saying, like, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah.
We represent a lot being with Ailey.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a beautiful weight to carry, I
Yeah,
think,
for
right?
sure, yeah.
And what about for you, Kosa?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say for me personally, it was daunting to come into the program. Growing up, my mother would always talk about going to the Ailey School and the Ailey company and how much it meant to her and to our people and our culture. But what I really found is that the individualism that comes with being a part of the company, and that Mr. Ailey himself wanted to encourage in his dancers, you're really able to tap into that while you're in the space, and that's something I've really come to appreciate.
It must be beautiful walking in that building on West 55th Street is so amazing. If you've never been, please go. If you're visiting New York, you walk in, it's a glass front building, portraits of Mr. Ailey, the late Judith Jamison, who was my boss, and now Alicia Graf Mack, the new artistic director. But Shay, can you speak to, yes, there's a very forward approach to Francesca Harper's vision, but also learning some of the older repertoire and how important that is to keep those works in the repertory.
Absolutely. So Francesca's vision is legacy future. So it's the sense of really looking forward to what is next, but never losing sight of or hold of what was. That way it can propel us into the future. We learned a piece called Streams, which you know Streams well.
So I saw Streams and it gave me flashbacks. Oh my God, that piece is so difficult.
Correct.
It's really hard. But you guys are
Correct.
beautiful.
So the company, so while I was in the company, 13, we also did streams, and that was the first piece we learned. It was like, "Hi, welcome to Ailey II. You're in a unitard." So it's an understanding of, yes, we're looking forward to the wonderful choreographers that are coming into this space. There's also this information, this wealth of information that we get to learn. So looking at the old videos of yourself.
Okay.
And other people.
The leg was up.
It was great. It was high. The foot was pointed. It was fantastic. But also people, living legends, walking around in the building, like, "Oh, I'm wearing a unitard. Thank you." But having that ability to be such a part of history and learning a piece of history. Mr. Ailey created that work in 2 weeks on the school. So it's just being able to breathe through that movement, even Revelations, still being able to do Revelations. We had Miss Waters come in, Sylvia Waters come in, and Renee Robinson come in at the same time. And, I have a video of her fanning, using the fan and the stools with Carly. I have a video. It's just being able to be tapped into something so deep and that runs so rich. It really is something special.
I mean, I think the way to keep these works so valuable and true is to bring in people that have danced them over the years.
That's right.
Because, legacy works tend to get watered down. And then you come into a company when you're young, you're like 19 or 20, and you're being told to dance a role that is like an old black Southern woman. And so for you, Carly, how do you embody that role in your mind?
I would say it was tough when I first came in because I felt like I was watching a lot of the videos and listening to a lot of the higher ups, and it was a lot of opinions and, "Oh, I did it like this." And sometimes I think what's best is the interpretation of the individual personally. And when you listen back to videos of Mr. Ailey speaking about why he created the organization, it was about the individual. So I think it's so important to hear from the people before you and take all their interpretations and bring it into how you kind of fit into that. So it's like, maybe I haven't grown up in a Southern church, but I know what it means to be hot, and I know what it means to be in a church, period.
Amen.
Or I know what it means to be at Thanksgiving surrounded by my black family members, like just tapping into those memories personally, I think is what makes me feel most connected to it. And on top of that, it just is even more of a way to kind of connect with the audiences now as like a younger person growing up. I think there is an element of personability, and I think just adding my own individual interpretation of it, it feels more connected to people that maybe come and see it now, or younger people, or even hopefully older people. So I think, the individualism is super important.
But also, what I appreciate you saying is that you're bringing your stories to the moment so that it gives a story, so that it's not just up there, just a hollow dance. If you can put your thoughts and your experiences into the movement, they may not be the same as when Mr. Ailey created it. Like I dance Cry, and a lot of that, there was,
Be able to draw my artistry from being able to imagine myself in certain scenarios or situations. And along the lines of the stories, I love history and I love historical context, and I really love to delve into what people went through and what they were feeling on paper, and how can I portray that through my body visually. And that's really something that I've come to appreciate with the company, because the works are just something that you really can't tap into unless you've experienced it. And being on stage and being able to express that to people and have them come up to you, young and old, saying, "Oh yes, I resonated with this," or "I resonated with that," is really
That's so beautiful. And so you'll see Ailey II on the stage tonight as part of the main program. The main company, Ailey I, will also be here in Milwaukee in April, I believe, at the Marcus Center. But tell us about the work we're going to see tonight by Houston Thomas. He's a Chicago native,
He's
right?
also from Chicago.
Yes, Houston Thomas.
So Houston Thomas, born in Chicago, was also an Ailey camper, and he went on to perform with the Dresden Ballet, and then he left the Dresden Ballet and then was in touch with Francesca. She has this really awesome work with really electric music, and it speaks about our dependency on technology and whether we're controlling it or if it's controlling us. So the music is really, like I said, electric and really strong, and the movement is incredible. The dancers do such an amazing job with it. It's a contemporary ballet work, but in this contemporary sense of the grounded legs and fast feet, and this one jumping all over the place. So it's high energy, but it also makes you think about who has the control and what is controlling you.
That's amazing. Well, I'm excited to see this excerpt here later on. So thank you, Shay. Thank you,
so
Carly.
much.
Thank you, Kosa. Ailey II in the house, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
back live here at the Peck Pavilion at the Marcus Center, and I am Danny G. from the Joyce Theater in New York, Director of Programming, and I now have with me artistic directors from some of the companies that will be performing tonight on the performance for Dance Fest, No Studios Dance Fest, and I will let them kick it off themselves, introduce who they are and what company they're from.
Hello, my name is Casey Beavis. I am the artistic director of Chicago Dance Crash.
Hey, my name is Phil, also known as Free, and I am the rehearsal director for Chicago Dance Crash.
Hi, I'm Mike Manson, also known as Mike Manson and Be Dancing, and I am representing Detroit House of Jit.
Good afternoon. My name is John Malik. I'm the executive artistic director of Madison Ballet.
Hi, I'm Elise Transon, and I'm the founder of Milwaukee Irish Dance.
Thank you all. Well, since you have the mic down there, I'm going to start with you, Elise. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
New mom.
Yes.
And this is sort of like not on my notes, but I didn't know that you were having a baby.
Surprise.
Yeah. So can you talk about the experience of running your company, getting ready for motherhood for the first time? You're still dancing from what you told me. Could just talk about what that means for you?
Yeah, it's very exciting. I like being able to, my studio also has young students, so it's very fun to see them get excited about it and see, new life in the dance studio. I found out right before St. Patrick's Day, so I was right right into the busy season right away, which I honestly think helped because I could get really excited about dancing and being a new mother and this new transition in my life. So.
And so John Malik out of Madison, we know each other from New York. Can you talk about what's coming up for Madison Ballet and what you're looking forward to for tonight?
Yeah, so this is the start of my 4th season as artistic and executive director, and I'm really excited about this season. It's called Redefine, and it's basically an expression of redefining what Madison Ballet is as a professional ballet company that's rooted in classical ballet, but also strongly holding on to our contemporary ties and expanding our audiences. That's really important for me. So we have a lot of different works on the program this year throughout the season that are looking to bring in new audiences. So we have Rock the Ballet in the fall, and then in the spring we also have an all-female choreographers evening, which I'm really excited about because I think there's still a lack of female voices in the ballet world, and I want to help bring as many of those new voices out. So it's a really exciting tenure of my time here that's really stamping who I am, and what I want Madison Ballet to become.
Right on. Okay, I love that. And so Mike, I'm excited to meet Mike because he is with Detroit's House of Jit, and this fall at the Joyce Theater, House of Jit will be performing for the first time, making their Joyce debut on a program as guest artists with Rennie Howard's Pure Movement out of Philadelphia on a piece called American Street Dancer, which I got to see the premiere of in Philly. Hey, I was there. I saw you.
Okay.
So can you talk about your company and just explain what JIT is for those that may not know?
Well, Detroit Jit is a full-body dance that was started in the 1970s. But the foundation of our movement is footwork, and it started to funk music, and then throughout the years, it evolved to techno. If those that don't know, Detroit is the home of techno. Techno was created there for people that don't know that. So we represent that. And also, it's a pleasure to work with the company because I've been on the road with Michelle Doris. At center of the stage. And I literally just got back from Val and came here, so I'm tired.
Were you doing the Center One Not Hold?
Huh?
Were you doing that work?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
I did the Center One Not Hold. I started working with Afrad and Michelle Doris in 2023, and we just our last day before next year, because we booked next year, was a few days ago at Val in Denver. Yeah.
So you're busy. You're a busy man.
Yes.
I love that. And now we have Phil from I'm sorry, say the name again for me. Chicago Dance Crash. That's so hard for my tongue to say. But so tell us what that is, because you guys started as a very physical dance theater, but then as you incorporated more hip hop and contemporary moves, can you talk about the evolution of the company?
Yeah, I think you can speak to what we are now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still relatively new. Chicago Dance Crash has been around for a while. This is only my 4th year into the company, so I'm relatively new. And yeah, I think at the moment it's like we focus a lot more on what our dancers really like to do and amplifying that. Right, if we have a cast that tends to kind of go more towards physical theater, more towards contemporary movement, then we choreograph more based off of that. But at the moment, we have a lot more dancers, especially in Chicago, that have such a high skill level in street dances that it's like it would be a disservice to like push that aside and not elevate that. Like if the talent pool is there and professionalism there, then that's what we're gonna do. And like I primarily dance with breaking, hip hop, and house. So I put my influence on there. It's like I'm not exactly non-biased on deciding like what kind of stuff we're gonna do or whatnot. So yeah, it tends to at the moment be a lot more focused on that. I can't speak too much to like the beginning roots. That would be a lot more that Casey would know about being in the company for so long. But yeah, currently that is a lot of the fusion that kind of the inspiration for the fusion that comes from Crash is. This is what our dancers like to do. This is what some amazing people, not only from Chicago, like across the country, people come for our auditions. Of course, then move to Chicago and add to the culture in Chicago. But yeah,
Amazing.
it's more the current.
So can you speak, Casey, to the origins and how it's evolved?
Yeah, definitely. So we're in our 23rd season.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's hard out here to keep a company going, so congrats.
Thank you. It's my second year as artistic director. So when I moved to Chicago, really the company was all about pretty much the same thing, amplifying their dancers, but we did a lot of narrative work. So we kind of took the story ballet structure and did it in our own style. So we would do Pinocchio or The Bricklayers of Oz or some fun fairy tale, and then we would put a twist on it or a spin and how our dancers instead spin on their head instead of their feet. So yeah, it's grown from that, and we love it.
I'm so glad you said narrative because I was having a conversation with John Malik last night, and then I saw an interview that he recently did celebrating his 4th year as artistic director, where a lot of people do like narrative story ballets or works. But John, can you speak to how you like people to understand works that maybe don't have a narrative? Would you like to see for them to find in those works?
Yeah, I kind of just tell people to come as you are. I am also a Ailey baby, so Mr. Ailey's words live throughout me, that dance came from the people and should always be delivered back to the people. So I always tell people, just come as you are and try to not have any preconceived notions. The second thing that I equate it to is like, I love a lot of sports. I do not play any sports. So I'm watching gymnastics and I'm like, yes, Simone Biles, you're amazing. I wouldn't know a half pike from a front pike from a back pike. Same thing with like tennis. I wouldn't know a forward from a back from a front, but I love it. So I look at the athleticism part of it and the beauty of what these amazing dancers can do. It's just, every company I see, no matter whether it's breaking or ballet or contemporary, modern, tap, jazz, whatever it is, I'm amazed at the physical stories, the movement, the emotions that they tell without speaking a language of verbs, of words. So I tell people just to come and don't have preconceived notions, take in what you want and create your own story if you need, but everything doesn't need to be a story. Everything doesn't need to be spoon-fed to you. Sometimes you need to just come, enjoy, have some dialogue with someone, say, what did you think about it? What did you think about it? And I think
what did you think it was?
Or what do you think it was?
What do you think was happening? You might get 12 different versions.
Right, there's
of
a lot
the
of
same
dance I see. I don't
piece.
know what was going on.
What was going on?
But it was beautiful. I loved it. Or I didn't like it. And why? It's okay to have those kind of conversations. But I say, people, open yourselves up to experiencing it because it's amazing to me. I might be biased, but
No, you're not. I feel the same. But I want to go to you, Elise, because we're talking about legacy, and Irish Step has a long history in the United States. And all of you teach, young people. You have schools, each one of your companies. Can you talk to, do you, teach your students about the history of Irish stepping and where it started, the roots of it all?
Yeah, I think it's super important, obviously, for all dance forms, but just to get into where everything came from. For us, Ceilidh dancing is group dancing, and there's a written book that has 30 Ceilidh dances. And so just to sprinkle that in to make sure that we all know where things are coming from. We recently had a Milwaukee Irish Fest is coming up, and we are doing a full showcase of all the dance schools this year, which is really exciting. And we realized the teachers collectively, we were doing a history of Irish dance number where we bring it from, the very basics to more modern. And we realized a lot of the younger kids didn't know the basics, and we're like, oh my gosh, we have to go back and remember, like, now Irish dance has become so elevated and so competitive, just to step it back. And we don't have the extreme turnout when it started, and so reminding all the kids that. So I've been more consciously trying to really incorporate it in the classes now. Absolutely. But yeah,
that's interesting you say that, because I think about all the dancers today. They're so technically proficient. And then how do you hang on to the stories? How do you hang on to the emotions? What do you share with your dancers to say, yeah, I know you can put your leg behind your head and turn 50 million times, but give me the story. Mike, can you speak to that even with JIT? Yeah.
Yes. The foundation of our movement is very important. I remind the younger generation, because the young generation are the ones that's flipping and want to do the exciting things and want to mix and all that. And I say, it's beauty in just being subtle. And usually the beauty is the foundational moves, the shuffles, the wiggles, the arm movement, the fingers, I think I may be like fifth generation, and I'm 37. You know what I mean? So our OGs are in their 60s, and the one thing that they remind the young generation, even after they're like doing performances, flip off the stage, they be like, "Your form not clean." They're like, "Hey, oh yeah, that's cool, but your form not clean." Right. So I mean, it's very important for me to represent that in our generation of dancers. Because we have kids that in our group that I met at the Boys and Girls Club. And they were like 15, and he's like 20, he's 22 now, little Tristan. So, and he's traveling and doing, he's here with me. So, with that said, I want to set it up for him to do the same thing, because when I'm done, I want my movement to still be here. Right. And like I said, we not represent ourselves, we represent the community. Yeah.
And I love that too, because having a show like this, which is so amazing, so congrats to John and Lisa, like Dance Fest, it's a taster plate, so even if you're new to dance, you're going to come and see something that you like. And with the arts, I'm not going to get political, don't worry, but with the arts sort of being under attack in this country, and it's so important to have community gatherings like this, to come out and support these programs. And just can you speak one by one to what it means to just keep the arts alive, because you really have to love it, because this is an art form that sometimes does not love you back, but just financially, the work you have to put into the daily, and I don't want to call them sacrifices, because we're choosing to be dancers, right? And so this is something that you love, but can you just speak to just what it means for you to still be out here doing this?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I was a dancer in Dance Crash and in the Chicago community for over 10 years. And so now as an arts admin, I'm able to provide those opportunities that I wanted to my community. Everything I wanted to see as a dancer, I'm able to make that happen. So that's really special for me. How about you, Phil?
Yeah, of course. Like I, as a professional in general, I take everything that I do not like seriously in like a good way, in the matter of like I care about everything from my like financial planning to education, historical context, to my foundation, my health and body, like cooking my own food, all that kind of stuff. And to me, like, it's not like, oh, this is my job, like this is just my lifestyle, and I figure it out around that, right? And if I need income in order to make my lifestyle happen, then I'm gonna figure out a way that I can use my lifestyle to make more income. Whether that, I mean, we're in a period where like we know that the arts brings in so much money and it brings in so much attention. Like, we have value. It just depends on if we're able to like make that value known to the people that have the things to give us that we need to get by, So it's like, people that have the resources, being able to get some of those resources into ourselves, as well as being able to share it amongst each other. Right. So I take all those things really seriously. And
absolutely.
I like the holistic approach to, we are a community, we are like a people, everyone is individuals. Like, I work on my own stuff, everyone works on their own stuff, but to elevate everyone like together is I think a huge importance in our community in general.
That's beautiful. And Mike?
I don't feel like I chose to do this. I feel like the dance chose me.
Right on.
And all I would continue to do is to give back, because a lot of times, as a performer or a dancer or artist, we get caught up in, feeling like it's us or chasing the moment. And I'm cool with being one of the older dancers, and I'm pretty sure some of the older dancers that dance with me or that watch me come up and we that came up together, they're okay with, sitting back and passing the information. Because it's not that they not supposed. Our babies are not supposed to have it hard like we had it hard.
Right.
We went through that war for them.
That's right.
So all these grants that we win, like from the United States artists or from our communities, we didn't know about it, so we pass it to them, so they won't have to struggle.
That's
and
right.
then we make it easier for that next generation, and we be okay with it.
Yeah.
It's okay to sit down and know when to stop.
That's right.
So you know what I mean. When I like I said, I feel like this dance chose me.
Yeah.
I feel like the community chose me. I felt like the the family of the or the foundation of everything in Detroit chose us to represent it. So how you don't make it die out, you keep pushing it,
That's right.
even when it's nothing to push.
Right.
You keep going.
I love that. Thank you. John Malik?
I am a walking billboard and spokesperson for the arts, because when I say the arts saved my life, I don't mean that in a joking manner. I mean it literally.
Yeah.
I came from a very underserved community. I have 2 parents that died when I was young of drugs, and I was raised in the hood, by the hood. And I showed an interest at 4 years old in ballet, and not to be funny, but the guy who was the major drug dealer in our neighborhood literally drove me to ballet class and was like, you're going to be something and you're going to be somebody. And if I didn't have ballet to put everything that I had into it and see a way to make my community better and to make myself better, I don't know where I would be today. So I tell that story everywhere. So when I'm telling people to donate to the arts, I'm not saying it just because we need money, and we do. But I'm saying that because it really transforms and changes lives. I'm sitting here as an artistic director of a ballet company in America.
Yes.
And I'm black.
Yes.
And I'm queer.
Yes.
It's unheard of. I'm one of like
Come on.
4. There's about 150 ballet companies in America, and I'm one of 4 black artistic directors of a ballet company. To go from where I came from to where I am now was all through the power of the performing arts.
Right.
And so I tell people, donate, even if it's $1, 50 cents, every cent helps. It keeps children off the street. It gives them hope. It gives them passion. It gives them purpose. And I just can't express that enough,
Thank you. That's so powerful. And Elise, finally.
I love being here. I love being in the community and being able to have the opportunities to dance. So I started Milwaukee Irish Dance Company 11 years ago, because at that time, there's a lot more opportunities now, but at that time when you were an adult for Irish dancing, there's not like a drop-in Irish dance class that doesn't exist. So you either went professional or you taught, or you were done, you stopped dancing. And so I did both, but I would go on tour. I'd be dancing in Europe, I'd be dancing all over the United States. I'd come home to Milwaukee and I'd be like, I can't dance anywhere. Yeah. I'd be on break and I'd be like, there's nowhere. I can join an adult class of beginners, or I can join a class with 14-year-olds, but that's not what I want to do. So I'm very grateful that people were interested in joining my company, and that I can provide those opportunities now to adult dancers who grew up dancing in Milwaukee, or maybe were just interested in Irish dance, and now there's a place where we can perform, and it's not just Milwaukee Irish Fest or like a pub on St. Patrick's Day. I love having this.
That's right. That's awesome. So I'm sorry, I think we went a little bit over. I'm sorry, Marcus, Morgan. But here we are, and I want to thank everyone that spoke today. It's really powerful and so moving. Can't wait to see all of your performances tonight. So thank you, No Studios Dance Fest, and we will see you at the show tonight. Thank you all.
Thank you.